It seems that with the new iPad Air that just came out, the M1 iPad Air, that there is an issue now with iPads because the iPad Pro does not have many more features than the iPad Air. And so this video is going to be all about the problem with the iPad and the iPad lineup and how they all fare out against each other. And so let's just get right into it. All right, sup? Nobes here, and as I said, today is going to be all about the issue with the iPad lineup, especially between the iPad Air and iPad Pro, as the M1 chip is now in both. The only real defining feature is the extra camera on the back, the LiDAR scanner, and the 120Hz screen. But besides that, they are mostly the same, and so let's just get right into it. Now, yes, this video is titled The Issue or the Problem with the iPads. And yes, that is an issue with the whole lineup, but today we're going to focus on the iPad Air and the iPad Pro and the issue with them. Because with the iPad Air, it starts at 64 gigabytes of storage for around $700. Now, that sounds like a great deal, but 64 gigabytes in 2022 is not good enough. And so if you want to scale that all the way up to 256, you're only $50 away from buying an iPad Pro. And so that is what Apple does, is they get you to pay that extra price because when you see the next step up, it doesn't look like much of a difference, right? And so then you decide to choose the more premium option. And so that is why Apple's price ladder works. But there's a problem with that. Because why spend more money when you're getting the exact same thing besides two features? Now, granted, the 120Hz is a deal breaker for me, and just that feature alone will make me choose the iPad Pro over the iPad Air, but for some, that may not be the case. And so with the iPads, those two features aren't really enough to spend that much more money. And so that's the issue with the iPad lineup, and so that's what we're going to continue to talk about right now. Now, I could go on and on talking about all the iPads and how amazing they are, especially with Apple Silicon. These iPads have taken such a leap in terms of performance and also in terms of everything they can do. But the M1 chips are also ever evolving. Now, as you can see with the Max, the M1, the M1 Pro, the M1 Max, and the M1 Ultra, and every year I feel like these iPads are just going to scale from M1 next year to M1 Pro, 2 years later, M1 Max, M1 Ultra. And just to think that an M1 Pro or M1 Max chip might be in the iPad Pro is absolutely astonishing to me because iPad OS can't even do anything with that. And I'm sorry to say that, but it's true. You can't run Final Cut Pro on iPads because of the software. You can't do anything like that. And so that is why it really makes no sense for the M1 iPad Air to exist. You already have the M1 iPad Pro, and that should be the top of the lineup. When you add the M1 chip to the iPad Air, it completely nullifies the entire purpose of having a Pro or an Air. The Air is supposed to be the one that, has the power, but isn't as powerful as the Pro. It doesn't have all the features as the Pro. Now there's only really two deciding factors between that of the Pro and that of the iPad Air, which is one, the refresh rate on the screen, and two, the cameras on the back. Besides that, maybe the Thunderbolt 4 port on the iPad Pro and not on the iPad Air. But I mean, does that really make a difference? Is that really worth the extra money to spend to get the iPad Pro? This is why it makes now, with the addition of the iPad Air M1, such a hard decision now to buy, is because there is so much similarity between them and yet so much difference in terms of price. And all it does is it just racks you up one by one from baseline iPad Air to 256 gigabyte iPad Air. Oh wait, but now I can spend another $50 and get the iPad Pro baseline. Oh wait, then only the 12.9 inch has the mini LED, and from there and there you just go up and up in price with only adding a few features. That is why the entire iPad lineup is in shambles right now and needs to be fixed. But the thing is it doesn't need to be fixed on Apple's part, because it works for them. For us, it should be fixed, but for them, it works because it causes us to buy more expensive things, which makes them in return more money. And that is the problem for consumers with the iPad lineup, but that is the best thing to happen for Apple. And so this has been a video all about the issue with the iPad lineup currently with Apple. And so guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below what your opinions are on this topic and whether or not you guys think what Apple's doing is right or not. Let me know down in the comments below. But for now, thank you for watching. Please do go out and have a great day, and we shall see you in the next one.